What's going on? It's T-Breezy talking about the National College Football Championships. And the keys to victory for both teams is for Clemson. They must establish the run with Travis Etienne. They must stretch the field vertically with T. Higgins and Justin Moss, I think number 8 is. And they must, and this is huge, they must protect Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence must have 50 yards rushing at least to keep LSU's defense honest. The keys to victory for Joe Burrow and the LSU Tigers is no turnovers, right? They must make Clemson play RPO every chance they can get, so they keep number 11 Simmons out the box the best of their ability, right? Number 2, my man, number 22, the running back, I forget his name, Clyde, damn, what the fuck is old boy's name? Clyde, he got a Cajun name. Clyde Evans Valaire or something. He must have 125 yards rushing and no turnovers. So the team that doesn't turn the ball over wins in football 9 times out of 10. I'm not betting against Dabo Swinney. They've been the best team in college football for the past 5 years collectively. Clemson is very underrated, but the key to Clemson's defense, to me, is number 19, Tyler Muse. He's a strong safety. He also plays man in the slot on pass downs. Plus, he has the ability to cover a tight end, a running back. He's 6'2", 220, and he tackles like a safety. So, I mean, he tackles like a linebacker. So at the end of the day, what Clemson does, on their dime package, they put an extra safety in the game and take out a D lineman. And Muse is like a Pete Grigley, if you're from American International College, or a Matt Needle. I mean, he's a hash defending safety that's good at cover 2, but can play man as well, but he blitzes. So essentially, he's like a Will, which is a weak side linebacker that's just right outside the box. So what Clemson does is they play with the coverage. They show cover 4 or quarters, and then they roll to 1 or cover 0. And then when they play cover 0, right, which is man-to-man with a blitz with no safety in between, sometimes they do this shit where they play robber, but they take the weak side middle linebacker and run them between the hashes about 25 yards deep, like a cover 2 middle linebacker would do, like a Derek Brooks would do back for the old Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So once again, the keys to victory to me for the Clemson Tigers is they must stretch the field vertically. They must have RPOs to keep the defense honest. Trevor Lawrence has to have 50 yards rushing, and they can't turn the ball over. For LSU, they must protect Joe Burrow because they might not see a pass rush as good as Clemson all year, even though they say Clemson's team hasn't played anybody and so forth. Clemson has a front 8, and Bill Watson, the great Bill Watson, I mean, multiple time state championship coach, Springfield, Massachusetts, one of my mentors in this coaching industry, will tell you, better talent doesn't always win. It's the scheme, it's the discipline, and it's the team that's emotionally stronger and is able to persevere for 48 minutes. This is going to be peaks and valleys because the national championship game, highs and lows. You can't get too high, can't get too low. You got to stay focused and do your job. In the beginning, I think Dabo Swinney is going to be very, very, very aggressive offensively. On the contrary, I think LSU is going to pound the rock in the beginning. And then they're going to do their thing with Burrow and Chase. And number 2, as far as the RPOs and the one-on-ones that they get weak side. So a lot of times LSU will put the trips to the boundary, meaning they'll put the trip to the short side of the field and then put Higgins on the other side. Put Justin Jefferson on number 2 to the weak side by itself. Fucks up the coverage. My prediction, I'm going with Clemson. It's LSU minus 5.5. I'm going with Clemson. If anybody's a good sports bettor, tease Clemson. Tease it so you get 11.5 points. Right? Head up. But back to the topic at hand. I just heard Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the man's name. And they have to establish the run. Edwards-Helaire has to have over 100 yards, or at least has to have 4 yards of carry and make a play honest, just so Clemson can't put their ears back and blitz Joe Burrow the whole game. The big screen game on both teams, screen game, especially Clemson. And the quarterback run game for Clemson's offense is the Wildcat, period, how they set it up. With the running back a little bit ahead of the quarterback, with the power back ahead of the running back, stacked up. They put a fullback in the A-gap from the door sometimes, or the H-back comes and stops all double A-cap blitzes. And the strong cat build fire, which means the corner blitz or the weak side linebacker blitzing. The H-back is usually right over the 9 technique. So the H-back, like if you watch Clemson, their H-back lines up at the obvious blitzer's position. So if they only got 5 to protect, 2 guards, 2 tackles, and a center, the H-back is usually to the side of the strong side defensive end. But then when they run 4-hole, they bring the H-back to the 4-hole. When they run 2-hole, they bring him to the 2-hole. When they run inside zone, outside zone, he clear claws his right. So he doesn't make the same block. So at the end of the day, LSU could really, really watch the H-back, and he'll tell you where the ball's going, unless it's misdirection as far as the run game goes. And when it's quarterback run, if you watch it, Travis Etienne is a whole yard ahead of the quarterback. So the only way that the quarterback could even hand the ball off to the running back is he has to reach forward to hand the ball off to the running back, and the running back has to wait almost like a draw or a sprint draw. That is a give right there. It's a tell. So Clemson could use it 2 ways. They could either set cats up to think they're going to run what they've been doing, or use it as a decoy, like send the H-back to the 4-hole and let ATN run to the 6-hole, or send the fullback left and, have a counter tray action with him right and just pull the guard. So basically they'll use the H-back to fill for the pulling guard and then pull the guard and the center, like power. Because, on power is a strong side guard that pulls to the strength. You know what I mean? And on counter tray, it's the weak side guard and tackle that pull to the strength. So what I was watching in my film study is that sometimes Clemson uses that to their advantage because they make you think that they're going to do like traditional run game action, bring the H-back through the hole, and then run a waggle, or run negative influence, or fake it and run an RPO weak side. So those 3 yards they give the line of scrimmage in college, it's harder to defend. In the NFL, you only get a yard or a yard and a half. So the lineman can only go downfield a yard, period, on pass play. In college, it's 3 yards. That's huge because 3 yards, you could give a look for a run, and next thing you know, the quarterback's throwing a fucking strong side post over your head. So the key is protecting Trevor Lawrence, right? The fullback for Clemson could take you to the play or take you to the strength, and this might be the best game ever with wide receivers playing against each other. It might be 6 guys in this game that get drafted. T. Higgins, Moss, and then the fast guy number 3 for Clemson, and then Chase, Jefferson, and number 2, number 6, and number 1 for LSU. So let's go Clemson, and big up to John Garzinski and Brian Mann in New Orleans, because my boys are definitely at the game right now. T-Breezy, and I'm out.
Before I go, I want to send a shout out to one of my partners, Mybookie.ag. Best internet gambling website there is, bar none. Mybookie.ag. Click the link in the description box. You will not be disappointed. You heard my man T-Breezy. He got Clemson tonight. Place that bet, y'all.